comfortable seeing these guys?
I'm just excited to be out here for practice 2. Ready for practice 3. I think what excites me about is Memphis is known for special teams. And our kids love to go out and compete in special teams. So it's my job to keep giving them something to compete for. Like we have uh, this past season, we had probably 28 kids that were dog soldiers. Everywhere else I've been, there's probably like 4 that play on 3 or more special teams. But when you got 28 guys that have rotated in and done some good things, I think we're on the right path to being a very good special teams unit.
I've seen you kind of tweet that out a little bit, like the dog soldiers and things like that. Where does that come from? Just
Well, the dog soldiers, everyone knows who the starting safety, running back, quarterback, all that is. No one knows those guys that play on, like I tell these guys all the time, when you're born, no one looks at their kid in the crib and go, wow, you're going to be a great L3 on kickoff. They're all talking about how you're going to be the quarterback, running back. So I want to recognize those guys that do the work that nobody else gets to see. We recognize them. We feed them first. We give them shirts like this. We're the dog soldiers. They get dog tags. And we want to recognize those guys for the dirty work that they do.
I don't know. Last season we talked about, that's how some guys can make their money at
Correct.
the next level. And so, have you had those similar conversations with these guys as you did last season?
Of course, all the time. I mean, if you want to be a pro, if you're not the first round draft pick, you better be on special teams. And I take great pride in keeping in touch with the guys that when I was in the league coaching, that keep in touch with those guys and see what the latest trends are on special teams. Because when these guys get their opportunity, I don't want that to be the first time that they're having to do these drills or anything like that. When they walk onto an NFL training camp or whatever, coach, we do the same thing we've been doing for 4 years. So it's old hat to them. I don't want them ever to miss an opportunity. It's not going to be because they're not prepared. It's a tough league, and there's a lot of talented people, but the prepared guys are the ones that make the league. I mean, look at Matthew Slater. He's done a 10-time Pro Bowler, and we put the stat up all the time. 10-time Pro Bowler, $20 million just to play special teams. I'll take that any day.
you talk to Calvin about that last season a little bit, just kind of preparing him a little bit for what could be expected if that what his role could be.
Yeah, we've talked about it, and it's funny the return that he had against Mississippi State was a funny story. So we're going in. I go in. There was a couple balls I thought he could have got to. I go to Calvin, and Calvin's like, Coach, I can't worry about that right now. I got to get the offense straight. I took a breath, walked away, came back, and said, hey, Calvin, 6 points on special teams is the same 6 points. And then he returns it for a touchdown later. So we worked it out. He understands how important it is. And, sometimes we get caught up. I mean, of course, I used to coach different positions on offense. And, I didn't wake up saying, be the special teams coordinator. But it's a job that if you embrace it, it will treat you right.
As far as you mentioned that for him last year, but obviously looking at now where he could possibly be a receiver or maybe a return man, is that kind of something where you just saw where he wanted to do that, or is it something where it was like, hey, this is how you can keep preparing yourself for the next level a little bit?
And we all know the NFL is all about the more you can do. And so just giving them more opportunities like, hey, here's more touches for you. We know you're going to touch the ball a lot on offense, but here's more touches. And you can separate yourself from some of those guys that just do offense, just catch the ball, to have another skill that you can sell at the next level.
And then going back to, just the importance of the special teams, if you look at last season, a lot of the point differentials were close games.
Correct.
Sometimes special teams can be the difference in that. And so just knowing that and getting your players to know that, how have they embraced that role of being that difference maker?
Well, like I said, this place is special because of the emphasis that gets placed on special teams. So any kid that walks in the door knows that they better be able to play special teams here. And we just keep building upon it. And we had a former player come back today and talk to the team. That's what it's all about, especially in our specialist room. We've had 2-time player of the year. We have 6 special teams player of the year in this conference. That's what the expectation is. That's what we hold ourselves to. We say the standard's the standard. And, and we're also talking about standards above feelings. So that we put a lot of emphasis on special teams.